In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all two stocks to keep in your watch list for tomorrow. There's going to be another inflation report being put out, so definitely pay attention to that. We're also going to look at some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the previous video. Alright, y'all, let's get started right off the bat. We got the Nasdaq futures, all right? And right now, it looks like the market is actually making a turnaround. Last week, we saw quite an aggressive sell-off. It bottomed at around 18,300. I warned you guys about the gap fill with QQQ right here. And after that gap got filled, it formed a bullish harami and slowly started to make a turnaround. All right, now today it had the CPI report, and we initially, let me clean up the chart real quick. Initially we had a sell-off, which I kind of was expecting, because out of all of the indices, the only one that still had a gap to fill below was the Dow Jones, right? And the Dow Jones had a gap to fill at 400, and it was taking its sweet time, and it wasn't it didn't sell off as aggressively as the SPY or QQQ. But today it took care of that and immediately started to turn back bullish, right? And the bullish move, it was quite aggressive. If you look at the actual inflation number, this is how the CPI has been, and the expectations for today was at 2.6, and it actually turned out to be 2.5%, which is supposed to be good. Like, it's moving in the right direction. The target that the Fed has before they start to decrease interest rates is 2%, and we're slowly getting closer to that 2%. We're at 2.5 for August. Tomorrow, the next inflation report to look at is the PPI month over month, which is right here. Yeah, right here. All right, and this is how that's been trending, and the expectation for this one is supposed to be at 0.1%, similarly to what happened last month. All right, so I think we're gonna get that number. It might just be 0%. Who knows? All right. But the lower this is, the more bullish it will be for the overall market. But for now, let's go back to the Nasdaq. With the Nasdaq, what do I expect for tomorrow? I think the reaction is going to be positive for PPI, and I think we're going to see a spike happening an hour before the market opens. And if that is to happen, then I would expect the Nasdaq to climb up to the next level of resistance, which is at around 19,800 right here. I think it can get there in one day. If it doesn't get up there by the end of tomorrow, then it should get there by Friday morning. All right, I'm not bearish on the market. I was last week because of how we were setting up. Now, not so much. All right. Again, focus is long. We're going long. All right. We're looking at a double bottom near these lows, and we're making a turnaround. Let's look at the VIX to further justify the bullish stand. And with the VIX, yeah, the VIX is finally giving in. We have room from 17 all the way down to 12. From 17 all the way down to 12, a lot of room, which means that the market can really push. So keep your eyes out for that. Now, the first stock that I want to share with all of you for tomorrow, that stock is Google. Now, I want to share Google with y'all for a very simple reason. First of all, it's been beaten down from the highs of 191 all the way down to 147. And this drop right here was, I guess, justified or supported from the Nasdaq sell-off. But if you look closely intraday, there was a bearish pennant that broke down or a bear flag, depending on how you want to look at it. You can look at it like this, right? Where we have the bear flag like that, or you can remove this line and connect different dots, and then you get a bearish pennant like this. The breakout point on both structures are the same, and the direction is also the same, bearish. All right, and right now it looks like the move is officially done, and it's trying to make a turnaround with the overall market. There is a structure. We're gonna zoom in some more on the 15, and we're gonna look at this right there. There is a bull flag on the chart. There's a bull flag right there that broke out in the last 30 minutes of market hours. All right, therefore watch it for a long all the way up to 100, and well, 158 is quite aggressive. The reaction to PPI has to be super good to like propel the stock to 154 at first before we make that jump to 158. But like I said, if the Nasdaq doesn't get to 19,900 by tomorrow, it could get there by Friday, which means Google, since again this is a tech stock and it follows the Nasdaq, if it doesn't get to 158 tomorrow, then expect it to get there by Friday. All right, some games that it might play is a retest of this level right there, which could be really annoying before we see a bounce. I'm showing you this now, that way in case you see that, all right, you don't just jump in out the gates. You patiently wait to see if it retests it right there. If you don't get that positive news, like if it doesn't open up at the same price or higher, then watch for this drop. But if it opens up here and then it breaks above 152.5 long to 156, all right, it's gonna get up there. So that's the first one to keep on watch. Now the next one to keep on watch, a lot of y'all love this one. We love this one also. That stock is Tesla. Now I want to share Tesla with you guys for one simple reason. I left my alerts on here. Obviously y'all see what I'm thinking, but the pattern is on the 1 hour. It's right here. There's a bullish pennant on the chart right there that broke out in a final hour of today's trading session. Tomorrow, again, if you get positive reaction from PPI, we should see this thing open up above 230. Right now, it's only at 227 after hours, but above 231 or 230 will be solid for a massive push out the gates. Just a big move out the gates, all the way up to 240. 250, again, that's my first initial thought, especially when I saw this structure in the middle of the day cooking. Like my first initial thought was 250. All right, like I said before, I know the beginning and I know the end. The in the middle, it's tricky. All right, anything can happen in the middle, but I know the beginning and I know the end. So that's the beginning, and this is the end. All right, and it couldn't be pushed out by like another week or so. It doesn't matter. Like I don't know how fast it's gonna get up there. My first initial thought is that it's gonna get there by tomorrow or by Friday morning. I could be wrong, and it could drag its feet. Again, like I said, I know the beginning and I know the end. Now, let's do an updates. The first stock that I've mentioned in the last video, hopefully y'all made some money on that. That was Z-Scale. And Z-Scale, it wasn't perfect, but it was kind of perfect. Like it wasn't perfect, but it did what I told y'all it would, which was to open up at 160 and then drop to 155. Unfortunately, like it didn't really drop out the gates like that. It kind of took a sweet time before dropping after 10 a.m. into 155, into that red band by the close. All right, and then it stayed down there for quite some time, and right now it's just playing games. So that was the first stock. If you took this one, congrats. But the one sector that I asked you guys to really focus on because of the opportunity that was on there was oil. All right, and this one was supposed to be a simple trade for everybody. So if you took this trade shorts, congratulations. Let me know in the comment section below if you did well on this one. I told you I'll watch it for a drop all the way down to this circle right there, and I got there on time. So everybody should be happy. Therefore, I mean, it's time to make a new video, all right? Like, if it's behaving well, if I give you something and it's behaving well, and I don't have any different opinions, I might not make a video. But since the trend is changing, it's time to make a new video, all right? And this one is leaning more bullish. I don't think it's gonna drop some more because the target has been hit. We need new structure before we see this thing really falling. Yeah, that's my thoughts on APA and crude oil in general. The next one that we're going to look at, yeah, we got time, and the last one is Apple, because it's been a while. Now, Apple is really strong, but unfortunately it's really slow. It's really slow. So I don't know how, if it's going to outperform the Nasdaq tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I do see a lot of buyers right here. These wicks, buyers right there. All right. And a candle that opened up above 223 will allow for a major push to 230 tomorrow. These are small candles. It's like the calm before the storm. It's happened multiple times in the past, and it's looking like it's setting up for a move like this. I'm not too sure if we'll actually do so because it is Apple and because it is kind of slow, but it could surprise us. And the nice thing about this is that when a stock moves like this, the contracts get destroyed. All right. So the deal on the contracts is phenomenal because they're real cheap. The IV is really low because the stock has done absolutely nothing throughout the past 2 weeks. So definitely keep your eyes on it. Like, have an alert like I'm doing. Have an alert right at 233 and wait, simply wait for it to ring because it will ring. Let's see if, yeah, it will definitely ring. And when it does ring, the opportunity to make 3, 4, 500% on calls will definitely be there on Apple. So that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. Make these videos from Sunday to Thursday, exactly 10 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul Nguma and the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Weibo, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.